Welcome aboard, everybody. Dr. Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health, checking it out one more day live in the studios, bringing to you and to yours and to your listening audience the truth about medicine and how it is practiced, how it is dispensed, and the theoretical foundations of the different types of medical practice that exist in the world of today. It's important that we, pay attention to our ancestors. It's important to pay attention to where we came from so that we'll have a sense of where we're going. So tomorrow, mark your calendars well right now, and do not miss tomorrow's show. Tomorrow, as my exclusive guest for the first hour, one of the fathers of modern-day naturopathic medicine, the founder of Bastyr University, my alma mater, Dr. Joe Pizzorno. Dr. Joe Pizzorno, quite frankly, is perhaps, although he wouldn't admit it, the main reason, the linchpin to the growth, survival, and proliferation of naturopathic medicine in the 20th and the 21st century. Dr. Joseph Pizzorno, if it wasn't for the work that Dr. Pizzorno did, I would not be here. And we're giving honor and respect where respect is due tomorrow. Do not miss tomorrow's program, my exclusive interview with Dr. Joseph Pizzorno, the father, undisputedly, of modern-day naturopathic medicine. Do not miss it. This from the Organon of Medicine, the homeopathic textbook of medicine written by Samuel Hahnemann about 200 years ago. The physician's highest calling, his only calling, the physician's only calling is to make sick people healthy, to heal, as it is termed. This is a very fundamental foundation principle of homeopathic medicine. Quite frankly, it translates through to all aspects of holistic medical practice, whether it's acupuncture, whether it's chiropractic, whether it's traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, herbalism, naturopathy, or whatever. The physician's highest calling, his only calling, the duty, as it were, of the physician, is to make sick people healthy, to heal, as it is termed. It is not to weave so-called systems from fancy ideas and hypotheses about the inner nature of the vital processes and the origin of diseases in the invisible interior of the organism, on which so many fame-seeking physicians have wasted their powers and time, nor does it consist in trying endlessly to explain disease phenomena and their proximate cause, which will always elude him. Nor does it consist in holding forth in unintelligible words or abstract and pompous expressions in an effort to appear learned so as to astonish the ignorant, while the world in sickness cries in vain for help. And whom amongst us has not heard that stance exemplified by the MDs? I want to read that paragraph once more. The physician's highest calling does not consist of holding forth in unintelligible words or abstract and pompous expressions in an effort to appear learned so as to astonish the ignorant, while the world in sickness cries in vain for help. Surely by now we would have had enough of these pretentious fantasies called theoretical medicine, which the MD is famous for which university chairs have even been established, and it is time for those calling themselves physicians to stop deceiving pure human beings by their talk and to start acting instead. That is really helping and healing. The highest ideal of therapy is to restore health rapidly, gently, permanently. To remove and destroy the whole disease in the shortest, surest, least harmful way, according to clearly comprehensible principles. If the physician clearly perceives what has to be cured in a disease, in each individual case of disease, If he or she clearly perceives what it is in the medicines which heal in each individual medicine, if he or she applies in accordance with well-defined principles what is curative in medicines, and what he or she has clearly recognized to be pathological in the patient, so the cure follows, i.e., if the physician knows in each particular case how to apply the remedy most appropriate by its character, prepare it exactly as required and give it in the right amount, and repeat the dose exactly when required. And lastly, if in each case he knows the obstacles to cure and how to remove them so that recovery is permanent, then he knows how to treat thoroughly and efficaciously and is a true physician. How many true physicians exist in the world, ladies and gentlemen? Less than 1,000 in my estimation. You want a perfect example of this? This from my own book, The MD Emperor Has No Clothes, which you can download for free right now. Go to freedoctorbook.com, freedoctorbook.com, and you can get this book in a PDF form. If you want it in a soft cover like this, then you have to go to drglidden.com and order it through the store. But we're giving it away for free because it's such important, powerful, impactful information. If I do say so myself, and yes, oh yes, I do say so myself. Here's a perfect example of what Dr. Hahnemann was talking about. In 1995, I had an office in Massachusetts on Cape Cod. I was practicing naturopathy, exclusively using homeopathy, and had a small but robust patient base. One day, a husband and wife brought their 9-year-old daughter in to see me. She had been diagnosed with a condition called reflex sympathetic dystrophy, which is fancy schmancy doctor talk, right, designed to make themselves appear mentally superior and make the patient and the family of the patient feel mentally insecure and inferior, so that the patient and the family of the patient is more likely and liable to follow the advice of the physician. Reflex sympathetic dystrophy is a curious neurological condition that is supposed to be incurable. She had it in her legs, and her experience of the illness was that if you touched her gently on the leg, it felt to her as if you had just hit her with a hammer. Not fun. She had been treated at Children's Hospital in Boston for a number of years, and after everything was said and done, all they could offer her was painful physical therapy, which she had about once every 4 weeks. To make a long story short, I took her on as a patient, analyzed her case, and gave her 3 doses of a homeopathic medicine made from a plant called Arnica montana. All of this, by the way, happening in the great state of Massachusetts, my state of origin, which to this day, even after 25 years of legislated effort, even to this day, the great state of Massachusetts does not recognize, nor regulate, nor support the practice of naturopathic medicine. It is not illegal to practice naturopathic medicine, but it is in a gray, illegal area, even after 25 years of legislative effort. The total cost of the medicine that I delivered to the little girl was $10. That's $10. That's $10. But now for the good part. In 3 days, it completely cured the condition, and I am choosing my words carefully. Being only a few years out of medical school at the time, I was a little taken aback by her rapid recovery and counseled her parents to just wait a few weeks to see if her condition would relapse. It did not. The cure was permanent. It was awesome. One of the most remarkable cures I've ever witnessed myself in my own private practice. This was years before I met Dr. Wallach. A few weeks later, she excitedly went back to Children's Hospital in Boston for her monthly physical therapy treatment with her parents. Because her condition was so rare and because Children's Hospital is a teaching facility, every time she was there, she was seen by an attending physician and about 10, 11, 12 students. Well, if I was taken aback by her recovery, they were dumbfounded by it. They asked her parents what they had done differently for the child to get such a remarkable result. When her parents told the doctors, MDs all, that they had taken their daughter to a naturopathic doctor who had prescribed a homeopathic medicine, they all got up and left the room. They did not want to hear it. And not even one of them called me to discuss the case. How professional is that? How compassionate is that? How open-minded is that? A licensed, regulated physician, someone working outside of their wheelhouse, cures an incurable condition right in front of their eyes that they had been unable to produce an effect for over 3 years of treatment, and they didn't want to know about it. There ought to be a law. Well, there isn't, because in the wonderful world of modern-day Machiavellian, monopolistic, MD-directed, medieval medicine, it's good to be the king, and the MD is the king. The MD is the exclusive banner holder for all things medical, and it is illegal. It is illegal to practice medicine if you are not an MD. This is the sad state of affairs that we are in here in the United States, ladies and gentlemen. You need to kick up your knowledge base. Because as God is my witness, what you don't know about medicine, what you don't know about health and healing, what you don't know about the orchestrations of the body and the body's inherent healing ability and the action of drugs thereupon in the body and the philosophical orientation that the MD brings to bear on the treatment of disease, will kill you or heal you. Either way, you need to step up your game and get on board the learning curve here. Get on board the learning bus. Quite frankly, there's no better way to do it than this book, if I do say so myself, and I did again, and I will continue to. FreeDoctorBook.com, FreeDoctorBook.com. Pick up your free copy today, right now. What are you waiting for? Get your health back. Is free good? How's free? Is free good? I like free. Stick around. Going to the phones when we come back. Air guitar, ladies and gentlemen. You just missed an awesome air guitar solo. Check it out, the drgliddenshow.tv. Tune in and turn on, and let's have some fun into the bargain, because quite frankly, all of this Durm und Strang, which pervades the world, all of the needless pain and suffering which is present in the world because people have been led astray. People are taking the wrong dog to the hunt. People go to a medical doctor if they have a chronic health condition. That's a fool's errand. All of this pain and suffering will, quite frankly, just come on, get you down. So we need to have a little fun into the bargain here while we are lifting people up, introducing people and guiding people. A guided tour through the undiscovered country of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. Science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. You know, it's quite a startling revelation. Remember that time when you were, I don't know, in your 20s, maybe it happened in your teens, when you all of a sudden discovered that your parents were people too, just like you, and that your parents were, people, right? They kind of came off of the parent pedestal, and you had the insight that they were just people, just like you. Remember that? Remember when you had that realization, that breakthrough? Remember when you were first starting to learn how to ride a bike, right? Remember, and you'd get on and you'd fall off, and you'd get on and you'd fall off, and you needed the training wheels, and you needed the training wheels, and you'd get on and you'd fall off, and then all of a sudden, something clicked in your brain, your body, mind. You got it. All of a sudden, you could ride the flipping bike. Well, that's a breakthrough. That's a realization that was present at one moment in time, which was absent in the previous moment in time. And once you've had a realization like that, a breakthrough like that, it's with you for the rest of your life. You could, once you get how to learn to ride a bike, you could get off of that bicycle and not hop on it for 80 years. And you'd get on the bicycle 80 years later and you'd be able to ride it because you don't forget that type of stuff. You don't forget when you have a breakthrough. Breakthroughs enable us to have access to the information in the universal mind, which is in the zone of the stuff that you didn't know you didn't know. When you have access to that information in the zone of the stuff that you didn't know, so far outside of your reference range, holy smokes, I didn't know that. Well, that's when you touch the hem of the garment of truth, and truth is truth is truth. 2 plus 2 in base 10 mathematics was 4 even back in caveman days, before they had any conceptual awareness of mathematics at all. 2 plus 2 has always been 4, and 2 plus 2 will always be 4, because it's a universal truth. Well, there are universal truths regarding medicine and the health of the body, or the lack thereof, and there are falsehoods about medicine and the health of the body and the lack thereof. When you align yourself with the truth of things, everything becomes crystal clear. And this is why you need to get this book. This is why everybody in the flipping planet, on the flipping planet, needs to read this book. And I'm giving it away for free. Dr. Glidden's freedoctorbook.com. Just go to free, FREE, DOCTORBOOK, FREEDOCTORBOOK.com. You can download the book in the PDF form, and you can read it, at your browsing pleasure. Knowledge is, in fact, power in this regard. And I like to think that this book is chock full of little breakthrough nuggets of information, right? And it is. If I do say so myself. It's not a New York Times bestseller novella, but it's good fundamental breakthrough knowledge delivery. It's a breakthrough medical knowledge delivery system. It is, because it will allow you to kind of look to see through clear lenses once and for all, and understand it and get it. Just get it. You'll get it. You read this book, you'll get it. What the MDs are trained in, what everybody else is trained in, what the MDs are good at, what everybody else is good at, and why everybody in this country is sick. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. You need education. Everybody needs a breakthrough. Who doesn't want a breakthrough? freedoctorbook.com. Stick around. Kathy from Florida is up next. I'm Dr. Glidden. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health. Welcome to another live edition of Fire Your MD Now. And we are as serious as a heart attack when we say that. As serious as a heart attack when we say that. You wouldn't bring your body to the office of a chiropractor if you needed open heart surgery. Nor should you bring your body to the office of an MD if you are suffering from a chronic health condition. It is a fool's errand to give your body over to an MD if you're suffering with a chronic health condition, because that's just not their wheelhouse. Let's talk to Kathy in Florida and see what's up. Hey, Kathy, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. Thanks for taking my call.
Hey, Kathy, what part of Florida are you in?
I'm right in Clearwater.
Oh, very nice. Lucky girl.
Yes, very nice down here right now.
I bet this time of the year it's almost perfect, huh?
Yes, it is. I wish it could stay this way all year.
Yeah, well.
Then everybody would be down here then, right?
Yeah, well, that's what it's like in San Diego, I have to tell you. We just got back from San Diego a couple days ago, and, man, it is just awesome. I think maybe the only drawback to San Diego is that you might get bored with all the good weather that you have all the time, for goodness sake. Oh. But I digress. How can I help?
Okay, I have been on the longevity for quite some time, maybe about 8 months, very seriously. My problem is sleep. I get so tired. I go to lay down, and next thing you know, I feel like my eyelids are blinking inside my eyes, and I'm tossing and turning. And when I do get to sleep, I usually wake up about 2 o'clock, and I don't get back to sleep. And then I have to get up at 5.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I get it. Sleep's a really vitally important thing, and getting your body in step with its circadian rhythm is a pretty important deal. I did an entire webinar about sleep. It's so important. It's available on my part of my insider subscription service. If you go to drglidden.com, become an insider. We give you a 7-day free trial period, by the way. You'll have access to the webinar that I did on sleep, plus about, 75 other webinars that I did. I encourage you to check it out if you haven't already, but I'll give you the short answer right now, okay? So, how tall are you and how much do you weigh?
I'm 5'7" and 135 pounds.
Okay, and which type of calcium are you taking?
Actually, I'm taking a CalMag from a nutritional store with the GMP label.
Yeah, and see, that's the problem right there. And I have to tell you, I've lectured about this extensively even before I aligned myself with longevity. Nutritional supplements are not all created equal. It's just like wine, right? I mean, they're all made from grapes, but there's a great deal of difference from bottle to bottle based on too many variables to predict, or, chicken soup, right? Not all chicken soups are created equal. It's the recipe that's the thing. Well, it's the same with nutritional supplements, especially calcium. An average over-the-counter calcium supplement, which says 500 milligrams of, calcium citrate, 500 milligrams of calcium carbonate, whatever, per capsule, will yield approximately, now this is an approximation, 15 milligrams of absorbable bioavailable calcium a day, which means in order for you to get your nutrient needs met, you're going to have to need to swallow about, 80 of those a day, 80 a day. So it's important that we take the right recipe of nutritional supplements, especially because this stuff isn't covered by insurance. It's out-of-the-pocket, hard money, that we have to spend that we normally would spend on something else because medical insurance doesn't pay for it. So if we're going to spend hard-earned money on nutritional supplements, we need to lean towards the best ones, the best recipes, which are the most absorbable. And this is where longevity shines. I mean, no kidding. Longevity's liquid calcium is 95% bioavailable. It is the most absorbable calcium I have ever seen, and I've been doing this for 25 years. I used to work for a nutritional supplement company that only sold to doctors, so I know quite a bit about the kind of inside track of vitamin manufacturing in the United States. And Wallach's Longevity's liquid calcium far above any other type of calcium on the marketplace. So when it comes to helping the body fall asleep, we need calcium. We need calcium. It's vitally important. Now, calcium is one nutrient, and in the holistic understanding of the way that the body works, we don't just give a lot of calcium, right? We give the 90 essential nutrients, all 90, plus a little extra calcium. And when we do it that way, especially if the calcium's in an absorbable recipe, we get really awesome results from it. So the recommendation for you would be 1 bottle of Cal Toddy per month and 1 bottle of Beyond Osteo FX per month. 1 bottle of each. 1 bottle of Beyond Osteo FX liquid and 1 bottle of Cal Toddy liquid per month. Now, in the morning, I'd like you, please, to do a half an ounce of each in a little bit of citrus fruit, a little bit of citrus juice, which is easier to find in Florida than a stick on the road. Citrus juice is everywhere in Florida. Orange juice, orange, pineapple, I don't care what you do. Half an ounce of each of the Cal Toddy and the Beyond OsteoFX and a little bit of orange juice, so 1 or 2 ounces of orange juice or citrus juice. Drink that down in the morning before breakfast on an empty stomach. Now, before bed, I'd like you to do 1 ounce of each. I'd like you to do 1 ounce of Beyond OsteoFX mixed with 1 ounce of the Cal Toddy with a little bit of orange juice or a little bit of pineapple juice, and I want you to swallow that immediately before you go to bed. And I mean immediately, man. Throw that stuff down, brush your teeth, and go to bed. And if you do that for 7 days in a row, I will eat my hat if you don't start sleeping through the night. Calcium is of maximum importance here, but you just haven't had the right recipe. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Could I just squeeze a little lemon juice in there?
Oh, yeah, no problem. As long as it's citrus, because the acid in the citrus juice makes the calcium much more absorbable. You know, it's perfectly absorbable anyway, but, you know, it's kind of like fanning a fire with air to make it grow brighter. Well, that's kind of the same deal when you take the calcium with the citrus juice. It just increases the absorption of it. And look, do me a favor, Kathy. After you've done this for 7 days, call me back on the radio and tell me what happened, okay?
Oh, okay, and I can just mix them together with the lemon juice and just swallow them right down.
Yeah, no problemo whatsoever.
Thank you so much. You'll hear from me next week.
All right, I'll look forward to it. You can thank me after it works. I appreciate the trust anyway. Let's go to Texas now, from Florida to Texas, and talk to Cindy. Hey, Cindy, thanks for the call. You are live.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
I have a hiatal hernia and an esophageal hernia.
Okay.
And I've been on the product for about almost 7 months now.
Great.
I have idiopathic peripheral neuropathy, so I'm on OxyContin and Topamax.
Yikes.
For my neuropathy.
You know why it's called idiopathic, by the way?
Well, because they don't know what the source of it is. I have diabetes on both sides of my family, my mom and my dad.
Yeah, but you know the real reason why it's called idiopathic? Because it was an idiot that made the diagnosis.
Probably so.
Well, I mean, look, here's the deal, right? I mean, let's think this through. And I'm so happy that you called, Cindy, and I'll walk you through this from start to finish. But right, I'm a holist, right? I'm holistically trained and through and through, and this carries forward into many different aspects of life. So we need to take a step back, take a breath, and take a look around and see what's really happening. You've been paying hard-earned money for medical insurance premiums every month for probably, 20 years, a long time, in order just to gain access to medical help when you need it. Well, you need it. And the medical help that your medical insurance gave you access to put you in the hands of a system, a school of thought of medical, which is the MD allopathic school of thought, that has no idea whatsoever what caused your illness, and they have no idea whatsoever how to cure your illness, but to make themselves seem important to you and seem, more educated than you so that you're going to follow their advice. They call your condition idiopathic peripheral neuropathy, right? And it's like, ooh, doctor, I thank you very much. I just thought I had pain in the feet, for goodness sake. Now you're telling me I have idiopathic peripheral neuropathy. Oh, I feel so special. It's Sjogren's idiopathic peripheral neuropathy. That's what it is. It's Dr. Humbug's idiopathic peripheral neuropathy with an extra case of, Schoenfeld's disease on top. Oh, doctor, you're so fantastic. I genuflect at your intelligence every day. This is how we've been socialized to believe, right? So, you give these people money every month just to gain access to their skills, and then when you get access to their skills, they let you down. And this is the state of affairs of medicine in the greatest country in the world. And this is why everybody is sick and suffering, because of incompetence like this. I mean, for goodness sake, they're clueless about what causes it, and they have no idea whatsoever how to fix it. And these are the people now that the government is mandating us to pay every month to gain access to. And it's just insanity on steroids, for goodness sake. How long have you been dealing with this pain?
Since 2000.
14 years.
Yes.
That's a long time.
It's a very long time.
I know, right? Well, by the way, diabetes is not genetic. There's no gene that codes for diabetes. We decoded the entire human genome about 10 years ago. There's no gene that codes for diabetes. And if diabetes was genetic, didn't Darwin teach us that it was survival of the fittest, and that, it's the strongest people in the herd survive, right? So if heart disease or arthritis or type 2 diabetes or idiopathic peripheral neuropathy or whatever were in fact genetic, then shouldn't there be less and less and less and less and less of it every generation? Because the people with those genes would be deselected from the herd. They'd die off and, be consumed by the jackals, right? So there should be less and less, but in fact there's more and more and more and more of it, number one. And number two, if type 2 diabetes was in fact genetic, we wouldn't be able to fix it. And we fix it all of the time. I mean, I can't change the color of your eyes. That's genetic. I can't change your sex. That's genetic. But if I can, in fact, change something with a medical intervention, then that argues that it's not genetic. There's a great big disconnect in this country about, medical thought. And when a medical doctor utters the word genetic, most United States citizens kind of cower in intellectual fear because they don't know anything about that, and it seems way far above their pay grade, and so they genuflect at the altar of the MD and let the MD do whatever they want to them, even though it doesn't work and it ultimately bankrupts them. We all need our heads examined. Stick with me, Cindy. I'll dial in protocol for you when we come back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health. We are continuing to have trouble switching back and forth between the microphones that I use during the commercial breaks to talk to people in the chat room. And it appears as if we, in fact, hold on, do we have success? Unless I get this correct, you're not going to be able to hear the callers. This is really kind of a big bad voodoo daddy. It's completely on my end. It is outside of the zone of the guys at the studio. It's just a function of tweaking it, and there we go. I appreciate your patience. All right, let's get back with Cindy in Texas and walk her through what she can do to get on the comeback trail. Cindy, are you still with me?
I am with you.
Okay, great. So you have idiopathic peripheral neuropathy, and you have an esophageal hernia and an abdominal hernia. You got anything else?
No, that's all right now. I'm having a lot of nausea and pain with this, and I've seen the gastrointestinal doctor, and he did a scope, and he sent me to the surgeon.
Of course he did, yeah.
The surgeon last year fixed hiatal hernia because it was causing a lot of GERD. Well, now it's back. I had a virus about 6 weeks ago, and the amount of vomiting caused this hernia, supposedly.
Okay, good. So there's a technique that some chiropractors do where they're able actually to go in and manually pull down the hiatal hernia. You know what a hiatal hernia is, right?
Yes.
The stomach sticks up above the diaphragm a little bit too much, the top of the stomach. Well, you can actually pull that down with manual medicine. And that's not a bad thing to do. There's also a physical technique called the Bowen technique, B-O-W-E-N, the Bowen technique. Just do a Google search for a local practitioner who's versed in the Bowen technique. They may be able to non-surgically put this back in place, right? And it's always better to have a non-surgical intervention than a surgical intervention,
sure.
Right? So that's what I would do there. But we have to, kind of understand what else is going on from a holistic perspective, because as far as I'm concerned, everything is connected. So the idiopathic peripheral neuropathy, the tendency to get hernias, they're all connected. And there's probably a bunch of other symptoms that you've just gotten used to. You had red GERD before, which are also into the mix here. And they're all different arms of the same octopus, the octopus being chronic, undiagnosed, undetected, and untaken care of nutrient deficiencies. So have you taken any of the longevity products or any nutritional supplements to deal with this so far?
I have taken the digestive pack for about 6 months now.
Okay, and did you get any relief from that whatsoever?
Yes, and I've taken the Sweeties, and I found significant relief in my pain, believe it or not. My pain used to be at like a level 8, and it's gone down to about a level 5 or 6.
Boy, you got to love that. So that's the idiopathic peripheral neuropathy, right?
Right.
Okay, so there's a couple things that I would do if I were you to kind of up the ante here and to see if you can get more bang for your buck. And remember that healing is a process, right? It's not an event. And as long as there's slow and steady improvement, every 4 weeks you feel a little bit better and, that things are improving and your sleep is better, your mood is better, your energy is better, the pain is knocked down another notch. That's a good thing, because that means we're headed in the right direction. Time is your best friend, and really it's just a matter of time until your body rolls all of this stuff out and away. So my recommendation for you, what's your body weight?
145.
Okay, so here's what I would do every month, and I only have a minute left in this segment, so you're going to have to write quickly. Okay, here we go. One Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 Liquid, one of those. The Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 Liquid, one of those. 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals. 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals. 1 bottle of glucogel at the 240 count. 1 bottle of glucogel at the 120 count. That's 1 bottle of glucogel 240, 1 bottle of glucogel 120. 3 bottles of Ultimate Selenium per month. And 1 bottle of Cal Toddy per month. 1 bottle of Cal Toddy per month. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. I know you've done that. Continue to do that. Follow those recommendations. Find a practitioner of the Bowen technique. Give me a call back in about 4 weeks with a report. I will look forward to it. Bonnie in Wisconsin is next, folks. Stick around.